Hey, what's up, folks? It's Ken Ledesma with the season premiere of season 3. Um, Welcome to the Nerdvana Experience. We're gonna start this season off with Let's Talk Part 3. You know, the Let's Talk episode will be the episode where I really just talk about shit that I've been through in my life and how I'm feeling, and me just getting personal and with y'all. And to start it off, I was sitting here thinking, I was like, man, like I say, like people who listen to the show know that my mom passed on a couple years ago. Well, it's been 5 years now, and I remember like the struggles that I used to have growing up, as far as like me personally, like my confidence level, me being insecure about a lot of stuff. I remember being a teenager in high school, and by me being tall and big, and having facial hair the way that I did back then, students used to always like say shit like I look like one of the teachers and stuff. I always was the biggest dude around, like especially when I was in high school. It wasn't too many dudes that was my size because I didn't go to the typical high school. I went to like a certain type of high school, and I went to Southeast Prep Academy, and I was basically the only big dude there. Like all the other dudes, my age was like short for some reason or average height. I'm not even all that tall. I'm 6'2". But being 6'2" in high school, bro, and you not an athlete is kind of weird. My school didn't have a football team or a basketball team. We didn't have sports or whatever. So a lot of my friends who I'm friends with, not my height. You know what I'm saying? Niggas that I went to high school with. Um, Jay the only one that's right about my height. You know what I'm saying? Jay Jamal, he like me and him around about the same height. But everybody else shorter than me. So I'm in high school. I'm walking down the hallways. I'm super noticeable, bro. And I used to feel real like insecure about that. And I remember, I'm real clumsy too. It got to the point where like I had to build, like have thick, tough skin. Cause I remember I used to always like trip over shit. Like I'd be in the cafeteria, I used to fall and shit. Like I hit my foot on the edge of like the cafeteria chair and shit. It just fall, and then I'm a big dude, so I ain't falling slow. I'm just falling like a ton of bricks, like just hitting the floor. And everybody laughing at me and shit. Got to the point where like, I did so much that shit, I laughed my damn self. Um, I remember being in school and the desk one like it was tight because I was a big nigga. And the thing about it, I wasn't even fat most of the time. You know what I'm saying? I was just a big dude. Like I just couldn't fit in the desk and shit. So though I used to love when I used to go to classes where we had like the chairs and the stools and shit, where I just can like sit up to the table and shit because them desks didn't get along. Uh, I always tried to be. Well, I ain't gonna say try to be because like half the shit I say like I don't even think about. But uh, what got me throughout high school was my ability to make people laugh and shit. Now I ain't saying I ain't no comedian or some shit because like to me personally, I don't even think I'm all that funny. But a lot of my friends and people who I talk to on a daily basis, they be laughing at shit that I be saying or doing because they were like they can picture me either saying it or doing it, or it's how I said it. And that's how I was in high school. Like, um, I talk a certain way, especially if I'm comfortable with you and you my friend and shit. Like, it's certain things that I say in a certain way. You know what I'm saying? So, uh, I ain't like my self esteem level was at an all time low from the time I was like 15 to 27, 25. And what's so crazy about that? I had low self esteem, but I was still able to get like girls and shit. But the whole time, when I was getting the girls, I was like, I felt like I was having to like prove something to my niggas. Cause I was like, man, like she fine. Hell, I bet I can fuck her. Like I'd be on that type of shit, petty shit. And it just it's crazy how your mind can play tricks on you. But I remember being so socially awkward, bro, because the type of stuff that I like, like I'm not the typical dude that was my age. Even to this day, like now, as a grown man, I can have a conversation with other grown people, but most people that I know don't share the same interest that I share. You know what I'm saying? So like, especially when it comes down to like music and all that type of stuff, like I don't listen to really, modern music. I rarely listen to new stuff, and when I do listen to new stuff, it's like from older artists. Comment when Pusha T album came out, I had that joint on repeat like a motherfucker. 'Cause that joint was too fucking bumping. But I have conversations with people, and they be talking about their favorite rap. They be listening to songs on the radio. They be knowing all the songs and shit. I don't be knowing none of them. I be feeling so old, and they be like, bro, like for instance, they be like at work, bro, like who your favorite rapper? I was like 50 Cent. They're like 50 Cent. Who the fuck still listen to 50 Cent? I'm like, damn. So it made me feel some type of way. But 50 Cent literally just had like he's on tour right now, and he literally just sold 1 million tickets. So somebody that still is like 50 Cent, in G Unit. I tell folks who my favorite album like 50 Cent, Jay Z, Kanye West, LL Cool J. Folks be like LL Cool J. I'm like, hell yeah! I'm like, this one of my favorite rappers of all time. And they be like, bro, what the fuck you be listening to? And my favorite entertainer of all time is the Jacksons, like as a whole. Janet Jackson, Michael Jackson, the Jacksons, like I listen to them literally every single day. And folks be like, man, I don't see how you sit there and listen to Michael Jackson. I don't see how you sit there and listen to that shit. I'm like, first of all, it ain't shit. Second of all, it's just they're just what I like. You know what I'm saying? It's just something about I don't know, I can't explain it, but Michael Jackson is my favorite singer, entertainer of all time. I love that shit. Like I listen to Michael Jackson like 7 days out of the week. I literally listen to Michael Jackson every day. Like I don't even listen to 50 Cent and like my favorite rappers like that, but the Jacksons, I listen to them every single day. So when I was in high school, folks knew that how much I like Michael Jackson and shit. They'll be making fun of me and shit, making jokes and shit. I remember one of my binders, uh, it wasn't a picture of Michael Jackson. It was like his logo, like his autograph and stuff. And I had that on the front of my binder, like I kept all my schoolwork and stuff in. And one of the dudes who I was cool with them, I said, "Bro, do they say Michael Jackson?" I'm like, hell yeah. I don't got no shame in my game. Anybody talking about Michael Jackson, I can talk about that all day. Like, yeah. And he was like, bro, yeah, nigga, you got another man autograph in the front of your pen. I'm like, damn. So then he said that in the front of everybody. When you say shit like that in front of everybody started laughing. Everybody look at y'all like, damn. I wasn't even embarrassed. I was like, shit. But this is how it is. Bro, I just love this shit. Like sidetrack. Mike that passed on when I was 16, and I never forget that day. It was June 25th, 2009. I was asleep taking a nap. My little cousin Lexi woke me up. She was like, "Corey, wake up, Michael Jackson dead." I'm like, man, stop playing like that. She was like, I'm for real. You need to wake up. I said, Lexi, bro, if I wake up and Michael Jackson ain't dead, I'm finna beat your ass. She was a little girl at this time. I'm 16. Wake up, turn on TV. I never get 106 Park was on. And everybody was all sad. They were playing. They don't never play Michael Jackson videos on 106 Park, bro. But they were playing. It was Terrence J and Roxy. They was showing Michael Jackson videos all on 106 Park. Change the channel on MTV. Nothing but Michael Jackson videos playing. I'm looking at the news. They hovering like the helicopter was over like uh his place where he was staying at the time, and Jermaine Jackson was talking about they were showing him uh announcing that he that Michael had passed on. Bruh, it felt like it's gonna be weird for me to say this, but it felt like somebody I knew personally had passed on. It felt like one of my best friends had died. I never seen Mike Jackson in person. I know he didn't even know I even existed. But I like that man music and his family music so much that I felt like he was my best friend on some real shit. Like that shit real deal good at me. Like hearing the word that Michael Jackson, the King of Pop, dead at 50, like seeing this shit on TV, that shit really hurted me. And it's crazy because folks in my family was calling me. My grandma called me. She was like, "You okay, Corey? You know Michael Jackson dead." I was just calling to check on you. Like, yeah, like people in my family was actually calling me to check on me because they knew how much of a fan of Mike Jackson I was, and they was real deal calling to check on me because they didn't like they knew I was sad about this shit. That's how like much of a fan of Mike Jackson that I am, even to this day. He been dead 16 years, 15 or 16 years, and I still listen to that man like he just came out. Man, I bought my that's like Thriller just came. Well, I don't even listen to Thriller like that, but I be listening to Dangerous and shit like it just came out yesterday. Like I be like, they just how I am. When I get on YouTube, I try not to watch Michael Jackson videos, like watch like videos of Michael Jackson because I end up falling into a hole where I'm like, let's just say for instance, it'll be like 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I've been on watch this video. I'm like, man, I want to see him do this. Like next thing you know, 4 hours have been on past by, and I just watching straight Michael Jackson shit. Like him and his brothers performing, them performing live and watching music videos and shit. So that's why I try not to like get on YouTube and watch like Michael Jackson videos and shit because I've been on watch, been on fell into a big ass hole and like kept watching it. But back to what I was talking about before I got sidetracked with MJ. Being a teenager, bro, and having like insecurities about how you look, but everybody go through that. Even people that's good looking. Like I don't consider myself good looking. I always consider myself. I be saying I look like a monster, and my mama used to hate that shit so much. But that's how I used to. That's how I see myself sometimes. Not today, but like at that time period, like from 15 to like 26, 27, I used to think of myself as a monster. And my mom, she used to be so mad at me. Like Raquel used to tell me, she like, Corey, you not ugly, you actually handsome and stuff like that. Like even women who I talk to be telling me I'm handsome and all type of stuff. But like in the back of my mind, I be feeling like I be like I be like, man, I'm a fucking monster. And I be feeling like, and then especially when I never said this before, but my teacher who teach me stuff, teach me about the Bible and stuff. He said something one time that kind of shook me. Back in 2020, I was talking to this Puerto Rican girl that I met at my sister's job at the hospital. My sister uh, worked at the hospital, and little Puerto Rican chick who I met, she worked at the hospital at the time, so we linked up and everything. And I thought she was a good girl, and she was real pretty, like super 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 pretty, like real pretty. And I showed a picture of her to uh, Jay and my teacher and Oliver. And first thing my teacher was like, he was like, "How you pull her?" He was like, "Nah, you can't." Like she like I forgot exactly what he said, but basically, like to sum it up, he was like, "Nah, you can't pull her. She too fine for you to pull her." That's basically what he was saying. And I was like, "God damn." It just it threw me off. You know what's so crazy? We talked one like months later. Like I ended up finding out we stopped talking because she had her OnlyFans and she was like fucking herself and dudes and shit on the OnlyFans and shit. I can't deal with shit like that. But yeah, he called me one day, like months later after we found out that this shit happened, and was like, he apologized for saying what he said to me and shit. But I never told him, even when we talked about it, I never told him how that shit made me feel, because it automatically brought me back to a time where I thought that was real deal Shreking in her. And I just thought I was just like, like when I looked in the mirror, I always saw shit that I didn't like, and I was comparing myself to other folks and shit like that. So I just felt like that I just wasn't attractive to women, especially when uh times where my friends and everybody be talking to women and shit like that. I wasn't, because I was so socially awkward and so insecure that I thought that, like, if I approached a woman, she gonna instantly diss me and shit. But then it'd be times where I'd be out in the stores, like be at Kroger or something, see somebody that's like, see a woman that's real pretty, real beautiful, whatever, and I just walk up and tell her that. I'd be like, no disrespect, like nothing. I just tell her that she real good looking, she real pretty and shit. And I end up getting a number. Like, it'd be times where I'd be surprised myself about like the caliber of women I be pulling. I'm like, man, she fine here. How did I pull her? Me and Jay talk about this shit all, like sometimes I'm like, man, I don't even know how I got her. But my mama used to tell me it'll be sometimes where it become like too overwhelming. And I go to my mom and I'm like, Mom, I just think I'm just so ugly. I'm just ugly. And she be like, why you feel that way? I'm like, I don't know. I look in the mirror and I see something that I don't like. I see a monster. I see this big dude that everybody always be nervous around. Like, I remember um, somebody who I was cool with. That man told me he thought I was in the gang. I forgot exactly what the nigga said, but basically he alluded to that he thought I was in the gang. That he thought I was on 10. Like, niggas say something to me, he just thought I was just gonna instantly just start beating some. Every man was like, but once he got to know me, he realized that I'm just a soft ass nigga. I'm like, damn, bro, green that. I ain't no soft ass nigga. I'm just ain't no monster. How folk be thinking I am. And I remember telling my mom, like, man, I just think I'm just like just so ugly. She was like, Corey, ain't nothing wrong with you. She was like, you ain't ugly. She was like, you ain't. She was like, if you was ugly, you don't know if you was ugly. I was like, man, I just feel it. And I was like, Mom, you telling me that I ain't ugly because you my mama. That's your job. She was like, nah, because you was ugly. Like, I'll be real with you. Then I'm like, I'll be telling you that you need to do other stuff to attract women, but you not ugly. She was like, you just need to take better care of yourself so you can feel better. And I was like, man, I don't even know what they're supposed to mean. So I used to feel like I'm in this dark space, and I used to feel like I'm too tall, I'm too fat. Uh, I was comparing myself to other dudes and shit. It just, I'm like, man, this shit was just crazy. It just me sitting here thinking about it now, like the memories of it, it's put me back in the mindset of how I was feeling now. That I'm starting to feel this shit again. It's just, I can't explain it. It's just like I can feel how I felt then now. Like, I'm remembering those feelings. I realized that a lot of those insecurity was all in my head, but I I was letting that shit cause problems in my life. My insecurities. I was having time. I was having a hard time keeping friends. Like, except for the friends that I got, like my day ones. Having a hard time keeping a woman or finding a woman. I used to always be anxious, be depressed. Uh, I'd be trying to find work, but it just like that shit used to like, especially when I was like 24. Now I'm gonna say 23, 24. I met my teacher when I was 24, and like my life changed a lot. My mama passed when I was 25, so those 2 years was really tough on me. And I remember my mama, one of the few last conversations that me and her had. She was like, "You probably need to go talk to a therapist." Cause my mama, she had her therapist. She used to come to the house, and her name was Miss Franklin. Miss Franklin used to tell me that she was like, "Corey, you probably need to talk to somebody." So she referred me to one of her colleagues and shit. And I used to talk to my therapist, and I used to tell her, tell him, I used to be like, I was like, man, I'm just so depressed. He was like, what you depressed for? I'm like, for one, my mom was sick. I see her getting progressively worse in front of me, and there's nothing I can do about it. I literally see her like, like dying in front of me. Uh, that was a hard pill to swallow. On top of that, I don't like the way I look. I think I'm a monster. I automatically think about Shrek. Like, and the reason I think about Shrek in particular, my friend Chris, he was on the show one time. That man stayed. He was like, "Fool, you ugly hell. That why you don't got no women." He stay saying that shit. He like, bro, he like, you really ugly hell. That man, like he say this shit every day. Like, and it really don't bother me, but sometimes he be saying shit. I'm like, damn. I'm like, damn, am I really ugly? And he was like, "Fool, you really look like Shrek." I'm like, damn. And when he said this shit, I remember I was with my nephew Dallas, and he was watching something on Netflix. It was like one of them little Shrek shorts, and I saw Shrek and I looked at him and I was like, "Damn, do I really look like that?" And then I started feeling like insecure again. And I said that to my therapist, and that man told me, he was like, "Look, you need to start thinking more positive about yourself. You need to start focusing on your strengths and what you accomplish." And I was like, "What you mean?" He was like, "Think about all the good stuff that you did or what you set out to accomplish. Even if you ain't really accomplished nothing, think about the good stuff that you're doing for your mama right now. And think about what you want to do within the next couple of years. Just think about positive stuff. Don't be focused on too much about how you look." He like, and if you think about your look, he like, do something to change it. If you don't like the way you look, just do something to change it. And I remember him saying that, and at this time I never grew a beard before. I used to always have my goatee. But when I was 24, I started, growing my beard, and I started keeping my beard in shape and keep my hair in shape and stuff like that. I started being groomed a little bit more, and I started feeling a little better about myself. And I be thinking that like, if I'm being honest, I'm thinking that my beard is like a superpower or a secret weapon or something. Cause I just feel like I look so much better with it. Um, Especially when I like get a haircut and my beard shaped up and my hair right and everything. It just made me look like a whole better person, better man. But yeah, I eventually, start overcoming my insecurities and stuff like that. It wasn't easy, but my mom passed on. I still think about what she said. You know, I be in the scripture and the oracle, and and they be helping me. And I remember, I just remember like going to therapy, and my therapist was like, "Look, practice positive self talk." I remember this shit vividly. I was like, what's that? He like, when you feel like you down, look in the mirror and find one thing that you like about your appearance and your face, and focus on that, and try to challenge the negative thought that you have about yourself. So I did that shit. When I looked in the mirror, I was like, I don't like none I see. But then I had my beard. I was like, I love my beard. It made my overall face look better. And I just look at myself. I was fired this shit wrong. Like instead of me focusing like trying to find something that I like and focus on it, I was just finding everything that was wrong with my appearance to me. Like my nose, I was like, man, I got acne on my nose. I'm a grown man, why I still got acne? But I was just finding shit like to talk about. And but eventually I got over that. I got over that. I remember my therapist used to be like, surround yourself with positive people. They're like, you surround yourself with negative folk, they gonna be saying negative shit. All you think about is negative shit. You surround yourself with people that's positive, and you surround yourself with folks that's positive that make you feel good about yourself. You won't be insecure like how you. I thought about it. I was like, you know what? That's some real shit. Because at one point, I was hanging around my brothers and all they bullshit and everything that was going on. One of my friends, like, it was just a whole bunch of like toxicity like around me. I'm like, man. And to be honest, as far as I know, I don't know what he say when I'm not around him, but as far as I know, Jay, like, we joke with each other, we kick shit with each other, talk about each other, but it'd be like in a joking way. Bruh ain't never said nothing to like down talk me. You know what I'm saying? Like, even when he was on my ass, like it been time where he got on my ass about like me not being like doing what I'm supposed to do. He never said it in a way where like he down talking me, like talking shit, like kicking me when I'm down and shit. And when we started learning what we learned from our teacher and shit, he was one of the main people that like keep me in the spirit of being right and feeling better and shit like that. So that shit true. Like when my therapist said like surround yourself with positive people like that make you feel good about yourself, that shit real. Cause like I said, my friend Chris, even though me and Chris still friends now, might be on my head. I might be like, "For you ugly hair." I'm like, "Damn." But now it don't bother me. I just know that's just how he is. The man, a whole villain out here. So I remember that man was like, my therapist was like, avoid like what he said. He was like, avoid comparing myself to other people. That man said everybody unique, and comparing myself to other folks made me just feel worse. And I was like, bruh, now that I think about it, you ain't lying. Because even though some people may say, share the same characteristics, bro, everybody is unique in their own way. Like everybody is different. That's why I never understood this zodiac shit. Like folks be into astrology and zodiac shit. Like, like I supposed to be a Sagittarius. Like I actually be forgetting that shit. Then I'm like, bro, I'm like, man, that shit ain't me. Like I remember, I used to talk to a girl that used to be real big into that zodiac shit. They were like, man, I don't like Sagittarius men. I'm like, why you say that? She was like, they some liars. They be getting over on folks and all that type of shit. They some bitches. I'm like, damn, fool. Then we got closer and she had me on my birthday. I was like, December 12th. She was like, oh, hell no, you a Sagittarius man. I'm like, yeah. All right. You remember a couple months ago when you said you don't like Sagittarius men? I'm like, bruh, everything that you described wasn't me. She's like, you ain't lying. But we ended up breaking up, whatever. But fuck her. But yeah, like, everybody unique. Everybody got their own traits and all that type of stuff. Everybody got their own strengths. Everybody got their own weaknesses. And everybody, whether they want to admit it or not, they facing some type of problem that they don't share with everybody. You know what I'm saying? So, like him saying that, like I ain't saying like therapy really did like help me and shit. And I was going to a therapist for a long time, for years, without even telling nobody. You know what I'm saying? Like this is my first time even just saying something about it. That man, I mean, what's something else? Like my therapy, that man was actually cold as hell. What else that man used to say? I said, what else that man used to say? I can't think right now. But yeah, he used to always say stuff that like basically like speak life into me, like if that makes sense. And he was always telling me, Corey, you need to get some confidence, bro. He like, you'll be surprised what having confidence will do for you. He was like, especially for a man, having confidence as a man, it make you 10 times more attractive to women. I'm like, damn, for real. He like, yeah. He like, bro. I remember that. I mean, one time that man said, bro, having confidence as a man, bro, it'll help you achieve your goals in life, and you'll live like a much more fulfilling life, bro. You're like women, you'll be attracted, more women attracted to you, be attracted to you because you got that confidence. You're like, have you ever seen uh, a really attractive woman with a really ugly dude? I'm like, yeah, I see this shit all the time. You're like, bro, you know why that woman with him? 9 out of 10, he had the confidence to walk up to her and talk to her, and he was saying shit that she liked, making her laugh and all that type of stuff. He was like, bro, you have the confidence, bro. You can get. I ain't gonna say you can get any woman, but you damn near can get almost whatever woman that you set your mind to if you like, if she with it. I'm like, damn. He like most successful businessmen. They had the confidence. He was like most of the motherfuckers don't even know what they're doing half of the time. Especially when they first start, but they got the confidence. They walk in with their confidence, like they know what they're doing, and they fool people. I'm like, damn. He was like confident. He was like, look, confident folks. They the ones that go out there and take risks. They the ones who go out there and achieve and be successful because they confident. They get their mindset that they can do anything. They confident in themselves. He like that's what you need to grow. He like you grow some confidence, you'll be straight. He like, bro, all them challenges that you be facing and all them setbacks, bro, it won't be shit to you because you got confidence and self perseverance. I'm like, damn. I'm like, I'll sit there. I remember that day. I was sitting there. I was thinking. That man said, "You got something to say?" I'm like, "No, I'm just processing what you said." That man said, "Think about it like this." Somebody said, "When a man believes in himself, he more likely, he more likely to persevere in the face of adversity." I don't know what that means. He was like, think about it like this: when you believe in yourself, no matter what get thrown at you, you'll be straight. You'll be straight. I'm like, damn. He like, man, being confident, bro. He was like, yeah, they'll take you far away. And I was like, I ain't never think about it like that. Then he had got it was this white book, like it was like a little pamphlet, like a little white pamphlet. And he had got it from like one of his little drawers thing that's on his desk. That man like, look at this. And I never forget it was it was like a pamphlet teaching men how to like have more self worth and be confident in themselves. And I remember the thing that stuck out the most. The thing that stuck out the most. I'm for the paraphrase because I don't remember exactly what it said. It was like studies like showed that like people who are more confident are more likely to like live satisfied lives and have better mental and physical health and shit like that. And I was in here thinking to myself, I'm like, who was the most confident person that I know? And I couldn't think. And for some odd reason, I thought about Kanye West. Like Kanye was the type of person back then, even to this day, whether you believe in him or not, that man stand on his own 2 feet and he got confidence in everything that he's saying is right and that he that nigga. He wanted to rap. Everybody and their mom was telling that man he couldn't rap. And then he finally got the opportunity to do it and he ended up becoming a better rapper than most of them folks who said he couldn't rap. And that's all because he had the confidence in himself. So I was like, man, that shit true. So it be thoughts like that be getting stuck on me. And I remember thinking that back then it was a whole bunch of years ago, it was like 4 or 5 years ago. And I remember thinking that back then, I'm like, man, yeah, confidence is key. I'm gonna remember that shit. So now I'm at the place where like I'm actually straight now. I try to I'm looking for a certain type of woman, but the women who I don't really be attracted to, they be the ones who coming for me and shit. Um, as far as like my everyday living, I just do dumb shit now. Like my brain just be smooth as hell now, cause I be like, oh, and I can't explain this shit. Like I said, these episodes of Let's Talk, I just be talking to y'all about what I be thinking about and how I be feeling. I'm gonna do one every season. Like this, I think this is the third one. Let's Talk Part 3. Yeah, this is the third one. Um, my sister finna have a baby. This is her first child. Damn, my voice cracked. That's her first child. Um, Now my family asking me when I'm gonna settle down and be the woman and have kids and shit. And I always say it's completely different from a man having a child versus a woman having a child. It's different. And I feel, I really did feel that. I really did feel that. And right now in my life, I don't think I'm. I know I'm not ready to be a daddy yet. I don't think I'm. I don't think I'm there mentally yet. I can't. I don't think. I don't think I'm there yet. Plus, there's a lot of like fears that I have of being a dad. It's like it ain't affecting me being responsible for another person's life. Like make sure that person eat and all that type of shit. One of my biggest fears is when I have a baby, I I don't raise that child right. Because what if what I'm thinking is right? Really ain't. I'm a real what people might not know about me. I'm real in tune with the Most High God and what He said and what the Scripture says. And I believe in my heart what the Scripture says, like how you should live your life with values, civil laws, and how you should raise your kids is the right thing. But what if I end up raising my child and he or she just be confused, like especially the way the world is now, but they're making everything the opposite of righteousness. So like it's just a lot of stuff that just scare me. The thought of being a dad. But when I hear my brother talk about how much he loves his kids, and I be seeing a little video that Jay sent me of his girls and how fast they growing up and how much he love his kids and all that type of stuff. I want to experience that, but I don't want to be no baby dad. I want to be a husband with a wife, kids, shit like that. But yeah, I don't even know where them thoughts even just came from. They just popped into my head just now. Oh, because my sister having a baby. But yeah, like I said a couple minutes ago, just let's talk part 3, season 3 premiere. I went on and did this first because I want to go and get it out the way. And this season, like you got more 8 more episodes of season 3. I want to have what I want to do is get Raquel back on here because like they don't want to. Besides the episode with J. Jamal, the episode with Raquel, that's one of the most successful episodes that I did that y'all seen alike. Uh, and I appreciate that too because of y'all. Like I was able to get uh, a sponsor. Even though I only had this one sponsor, but more opportunities coming down the line. I believe. Uh, and out of everybody with DC Universe Infinite, people like that don't be personal. I love comics, especially superheroes from DC Universe. Cause Wonder Woman my favorite hero, but I ain't forget to all that. Um, yeah, man. Like I said, I appreciate everybody who listens to the show. I appreciate everybody who new to the show that took their time out to check me out. I appreciate the reoccurring listeners. Um, Man, look at our socials. J Jamal, he over the socials because I don't really know how to do that type of shit. All the socials is TNE Beyond, uh, X which is Twitter which is X, whatever. Uh, I don't know if he made the TikTok page yet, but he supposed to be getting a TikTok up and going. But yeah, like check us out there. Give us a like, give us feedback or whatever on the show, ideas what y'all want to hear us talk about. And like I said, I appreciate y'all. See y'all next week. Peace.